Hey docs, welcome to another episode of the Clinic Chiropractic Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Richard Avery, also known as the Effortless Clinic Coach or Effortless Chiro Coach, whichever one you want to use, kind of interchangeable. But anyways, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. In this episode, what I'm going to talk about is how to properly build a powerful network of referrals. I'll tell you right now, as you probably already heard, your network is your net worth. Okay, I'll say that again if you haven't heard that term or that phrase before. Your network is your net worth. Okay, which means that the more people you know, the more money you'll make. And that applies to any part of life. So in this video, in this podcast, I'm going to talk about how to build a strong network of referrals. Now, what you want to do is you want to get a referral source from all different sources of people, okay? Chiros, physios, massage, acupuncturists, medical doctors, all that sort of stuff. Now, you might be thinking that, you know what? My chiropractors are my competition. My physios are my competition. They're never going to refer patients to me. Well, the reason why you're thinking that way is because you live in two types of oceans. Okay, you'll live in the ocean that I live in, or you can live in the ocean that perhaps you live in. And that is a red ocean and a blue ocean. Okay, this concept comes from a book that I can't remember what it's, I think it's called Blue Ocean Strategies, a book that I read years and years ago. I'll put the book cover right there. If you haven't read the book, I strongly advise you to read the book, because if you do, you're going to realize if you're struggling, why you're struggling. And if you position your clinic properly, you'll never have to struggle, okay? So what's a red ocean? What's a blue ocean? A red ocean is like it sounds, red, full of blood, a lot of competition. It is craziness. If you're a generalized chiropractic care practitioner, you lie within that red ocean. I live in the blue ocean, okay? And as a result, that blue ocean is beautiful. It's pristine. It's enjoyable to be in there. Why? Because I never stress about my competition. I don't have any competition. And I get a ton of referrals from what you may think is your competition. Let me explain. So a red ocean is where there's a ton of competition. Everybody's fighting for that small source of potential new patients. If you're a chiropractor and you have all these other chiropractors and your main pool is your community, your town, well, you know what? They're all going to be grabbing from that pool of that town, potential new patients, right? And obviously, as you know, well, when you deal with patients in the general population terms, but 93% of people out there do not see a chiropractor. It may have dropped down a bit. So let's just say 90% of the general population will not see a chiropractor. So now you live in a town where there's a bunch of other chiropractors there, and they're all going after that 7 to 10% of the population that's willing to see a chiropractor. So now you're fighting with all those people that are potentially may see a chiropractor. You're fighting with all of your competition of all those other chiropractors. But guess what? Then you have the physios, then you have the massage, all these other people, all these other therapists that are going after that same pool. So you're struggling. That's why you're not seeing very many patients, why you're not generating the revenue you want, that you're not charging as much as you want. But in order to get out of the red ocean and get into the blue ocean where I am, that's where all the riches are. That's where all the riches are. Now, my clinic, I specialize in severe knee and shoulder pain. I am the go-to in my area and all around me. Okay, like I probably said in a previous podcast, I have patients coming from about 7 hours away, 5 hours away, 3 hours away. My average patient base comes from about an hour, hour and a half away, and I'm inundated with patients. See, in my case, I specialize. Now, I can't say I specialize according to my association. So instead of using the word specialize, I use the word focus. I strictly focus on severe knee and shoulder pain. It's all semantics, but you know what? The association doesn't want me to say specialized. Fine, I'll just use another word, a synonym that does the same, works the same way. So I focus on. And because I focus on a specific segment of the marketplace, treating severe knee and shoulder pain, I'm not seen as a threat to anybody else, especially chiropractors. In my town, the reason why I opened up this practice, like I said, I have a course called the Effortless Clinic Build course, okay? In that course, I do a complete walkthrough as is happening day by day as I'm growing this practice, okay? And as I say in my video, in my course, I decided to pick this location, this town, because I wanted to make sure that there were a ton of other practitioners in there, so the competition was high, perceived competition was high, to prove to you that it doesn't matter where you are, what your competition is like, you can grow a very successful practice, which is what I did. So because there's a lot of practitioners, a lot of chiropractors and all that sort of stuff, the way I position my practice, because I'm seen as a go-to and I'm not seen as a chiropractic doctor where I'm doing all these adjustments and stuff like that, doctors, chiropractors will send their patients to me who have severe knee and shoulder pain because they can't get them better. They come to me, I get them better, and I send them back. So I'm not actually a threat to them. I'm actually seen as an ally to them. So my competition, much like your case, your local chiropractor, which is probably your competition, actually becomes my referral source. Because again, they don't see me as a threat. In fact, when that practitioner, let's say that chiropractor is trying to get their patient better, they're not getting better, they say, you know what, I'm trying my best, but I'm not able to get the results that you want, but I know a guy that specializes in what you're suffering from. Let me send you there and he'll get you better. That patient will see that referring doctor in a much greater light because they see that doctor solely as being there for that patient, not for the dollars and cents, but just there for the well-being of that potential patient by referring them out. As I treat them, I always say, you know what, it's always good to go back for your maintenance, chiropractic adjustments, keep everything in check, go back to Dr. So-and-so, and he'll take care of you from here. I get physios referring, get massage therapists to refer, all that sort of stuff. So I have a great referral base. Now, like I say, I have a system where I do my marketing, where I get inundated with consults. Again, if you don't already know, I have about a 6 to 8 week waiting list, although I'm trying to drop that down. So I actually dropped down my marketing because I get so many referrals. Now, if you stay to the end, I'll give you a link to my MD referral kit, okay? All you have to do is just click on the link below, and I've created an MD referral kit that I send to doctors that drive patients to my office, okay? It's a really, really great kit. If you want, check it out. And it's a free download, and you'll get immediate access to it. And you can implement it, modify it to your exact specifications for your practice. But again, going back to perhaps your situation, what you want to do in an ideal situation is focus on a specific segment of the marketplace. Again, this is how you get into that blue ocean strategy. If you're doing what everybody else is doing, well then, you're doing what everybody else is doing, so you're just a commodity chiropractic practice, right? At least that's what your potential patients in your community will see you as. You're just another chiropractor doing what everybody else does. So when you're a generalized chiropractic care practitioner, you're going to be in that red ocean, okay? Whereas me, because I specialize, I push myself away from the masses, I have no competition. Truly, I have no competition. That's why I walk into my office stress-free. The only stress I have is getting patients better. I never have to worry about my revenue. I never have to worry about my marketing. I never have to worry about where my next patient is coming from because of the way I position myself, all right? So that's how you want to get into. You want to get into that blue ocean strategy. You want to focus on a specific segment of the marketplace. Now, if you don't want to do that, say for example, you know what, I just want to be a generalized chiropractic care practitioner. I want to remove subluxation. I want to do this, this, and this. That's fine as well, okay? Now, again, there's always going to be a certain degree of competition with you. But what you can do, and again, I outlined this in my course, is you want to make what you do very, very unique to you, okay? And make sure that your potential new patients, your community knows that. Because like I always say, if you have the option of being better or being different, always choose being different. Because being different is better than being better. I'll say that again. If you have the option of choosing different or being better, choose being different because being different is better than being better. Because understand, there'll always be someone better than you. There'll always be someone better than you. But when you're being different, people are not going to be the same as you. And when you're different, you stand out. And when you're different, people take notice. And when you're different and people take notice, they'll see more value in your care. And when they see more value in your care, obstacles of distance, time, whatever, they come to see you for your treatments becomes irrelevant. Because again, they see you as a practitioner that's going to give them the highest probability of treatment success. Okay? So if you're a generalized chiropractic practitioner, make something that's unique to you. Because here's the other thing. When you make your treatments unique to you, and I'm not just talking about whatever, just doing special Gonstead treatments, okay, or activator treatments. That's not what I'm talking about. Now, in my course, I have a system that I show you that's truly effortless on how to easily create a treatment plan where people rarely discontinue care or drop out earlier. They're very, very compliant with care because I have systems in place. It's so easy, but systems in place are steps that you have to go to in order to succeed in treatment, and people always follow suit. They rarely drop care, and not only do they follow suit, but they rarely miss their appointments, okay? And if they happen to miss it, they quickly make it up. It's very easy. The patients become low maintenance patients, okay? But if you want to get, sorry, I just rambled on. I kind of lost where my train of thought here. But yeah, being different. You got to be different because being different is better than being better because, again, you'll stand out, okay? So that's key number one. Find out what you do that's different because everybody practices differently. Everybody has something unique about them, but you have to separate yourself from your competition, okay? Again, your competition, when you separate yourself, when you get into that blue ocean, they'll become your referral source. And here's the other thing. We get a lot of medical doctors referring to us, okay? More and more every time, okay? Every day, every week. And the reason why that is because, listen, as you've probably already know, as you probably already heard, chiropractic, unfortunately, has a negative brand equity associated with it. There's a negative association with chiropractic. Oh, it's strokes and, you're going to get addicted to the adjustments and so on and so forth, right? So medical doctors are often very apprehensive about referring their patients to a chiropractor. They'll much rather refer their patients to a physiotherapist, right? No problem. We'll send them to a massage therapist, a physiotherapist. Chiropractic, forget it. Why is that? Well, it's because of the reputation that we created. But here's the thing. When you lie within that blue ocean, what they call blue ocean strategy, when you lie within that blue ocean, medical doctors will almost always refer to you. And I'll tell you, the way it is generally speaking, this might be kind of on a bit of a decline, not a lot just yet, but the general population puts medical doctors on a pedestal. So whatever they say applies, right? Whatever they say is gospel, right? So when that medical doctor sees you as someone that really knows what they're doing, that's really going to take care of their patients, that is different, when they send their patients to you, you know that that's an easy conversion. You don't have to put any effort into that. You just have to make sure that they're a candidate for your care, right? Whatever system you have to, have that process where you make sure that they're a good candidate, right? So getting medical referrals is so important. So think of it this way. If you have this massive referral system from other practitioners and then like your medical doctor, chiros, phys, massage, acupuncture, you're going to be inundated with patients all the time, okay? I remember Ben Altadonna, a guy that I followed years and years ago. I think it was him at least. What he was talking about, if you have, what he talked about exactly. So he says, write a list of 100 different sources of new patients. 100 sources of new patients, okay? That could be going to your medical doctor, your chiro, physio, massage, acupuncturist. It could be a postcard at the DMV, your business cards at the DMV. It could be putting your a promotional piece in a grocery store. But if you have 100, maybe in a library, I don't know, anywhere, right? Community bulletin boards at a local gym or whatever. If you have 100 different sources, and of that 100 different sources, let's say 20% of those 100 different sources of potential patient referrals, okay? If 20% of those 100 come in, Bam, that's 20 patients in your door every single month. Kind of an old school way. I don't do that. Everything that I do is geared towards passive patient acquisition. What does that mean? Passive patient acquisition means I don't do anything to get the patients to come into my office. I basically kick back and have them coming to me. So I don't do trade shows. I don't do spinal screenings. I don't do lunch and learns. I don't do talks. Nothing like that. Excuse me, and listen, if that floats your boat, if you enjoy doing that, getting out in the community, doing senior centers and libraries and businesses, if that floats your boat, great, do that. You know what? All the more power to you. For me, that's not something that I'm interested in. I don't want to go out to get new patients for two main reasons. Number one, it instantly takes away your credibility. It's like this practitioner is starving for patients. They got to go out. When people come to see you, they seek you out, your perceived value of a clinic is much, much greater, obviously, right? Because they're coming to see you. You're not trying to go after them, okay? The other thing is, like I said, I love what I do. I love my practice. I love my patients. I only work 4 days a week. That's it, okay? My Tuesdays are my shorter days. I have 2-hour breaks. I work from Monday to Thursday. I always have long weekends from Friday to Sunday off. I love to just kick back, relax, take it easy, okay? That's my goal. The last thing I want to do is take a Friday, beautiful Friday afternoon or Sunday or Saturday afternoon, the sun is shining, everybody's out enjoying walks and parks in the pool or whatever, golfing, and then here I am doing some lame-ass trade show. God, just even the thought of that, I couldn't do it, okay? All I believed in, which I believed from day one when I opened up my practice, is passive patient acquisition, PPA. I don't do anything. The patients instead come back to me. I just kick back. Like I said in my previous podcast, or if you've gone to my website, which is the Clinic Build Formula, I have a system that I've actually upgraded right now. I've even updated so my marketing, or even the course, the marketing that I teach you is even more powerful than what I just had, even though in my course, I have a system that works exceptionally well. Now I've just taken it up to the next level. And that's in my Effortless viral ad course, which drives an abundance of new patients to my office. Okay, so my ads work all the time. I never have to check my ads. Okay, as I probably said in the last podcast, the only thing I do when I check my ads, I check my leads, make sure that they're still high because I have a lead capture on my website. The calls to my office phone are good, and that the comments to my ads are still coming in, okay? If they're still coming in at a great rate, I don't check my ads. I just respond to the ads, right? Or respond to the comments, fire off the leads first thing in the morning to my staff. She calls after she calls people that have left messages on my phone to book an appointment, all that sort of stuff, okay? I don't believe in going out. Again, if you believe in going out and meeting people face-to-face, great. For me, I'm not into that. I enjoy my downtime, kicking back, traveling, or whatever, right? So, let me talk about one other thing. So often I go from the top of my head. I have an itemized list in my head, and I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. So what was the other thing? Yes, okay, so this is really, really important, okay? And I know if you're a struggling chiropractor, you don't see a lot of patients, you just need that revenue, it is very easy to try to just accept everybody that walks into your office, okay? I don't accept everybody that walks into my office. I have a very, very good reputation. In fact, I actually deny about a third of the patients that come into my office, either because it's something that I can't help them with, they're so far gone, they're not going to respond, or if I feel that the problem is not good enough for my care, or that doesn't warrant my care, so I refer them out. And I'm going to tell you this. You might think that when you deny someone of your care because either they don't need your care for whatever reason that may be, it's not severe enough or it goes beyond the scope of your treatments, you might think, oh God, I'm going to lose that revenue. But I'm going to tell you that is the furthest thing from the truth. Now, let me give you an example. Again, I deal with severe cases, chronic cases. People have moderate to advanced arthritis and so on and so forth. People on the verge of surgery. People have had surgery and it failed, so they come to see me. People always want to start my care. Again, what I have, due to my advertising, my marketing, and the position of my clinic, people are coming pre-close, which again, if you don't know what that means, it means that people are already wanting to start my care even before they walk into my office for the very first time. Well, I turn down about a third of the patients that come in, or consults that come into my office. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have had people post on my ads or post on my Facebook group or emailed me saying how amazing I am, how honest I am, that they've gone to other practitioners and they've taken them under care, but they didn't get them any better. So they wasted time, emotion, and finances, and they end up being pissed off and jilted because they never got better. Now, I understand it's not necessarily the practitioner's fault, that the patient has to take ownership. But again, they don't really see it that way. All they see is this doctor, this practitioner was going to get me better. They never did. I wasted a lot of time, money, and emotion, right? So when they come to see me and I say, listen, you know what, I'd love to be able to help you, but unfortunately what you have goes beyond my scope, or perhaps, you know what, overall you're doing great. You don't really need my care, but let me refer to someone that's better suited for your condition. They'll really respect that. They'll hold you in high regard. And guess what? They will almost always refer their friends and family to you. Why? Because even though you rejected them, you said, you know, I can't help you, they see you as honest. And when they see you as honest, guess what? They're going to have that ability and confidence to send their loved ones to you because they see you as such an honest person. So even though you may not necessarily get that patient under your care and you're not making that revenue, in the long run, those people that you deny care will be a massive source of referrals to you. Don't think that just because you say someone should undergo your care is not going to be a great referral of patients and a great generator of revenue for you. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. A lot of practitioners, because I've dealt with all I deal with for the most part, besides new chiropractors that want to start their practice, I deal with a lot of struggling chiropractors. Chiropractors that are on the verge of bankruptcy, right? And all that sort of closure and all that. And so they become desperate and they'll accept anybody that walks into their office. And what actually ends up happening is because they become desperate, they see themselves, the potential patient sees that practitioner as just a salesperson, a used car salesperson. Or they spend this money and they don't get better, even though the doctor knew that the problem is really severe and chances are they're not going to get better. So what now happens is they get all these bad reviews. Not only do they get bad reviews online, but within the confines of the community as well, so that what happens is it becomes more reputation management on your behalf, right? On your behalf, where you have all this bad, whatever, Google reviews, online reviews, all this bad stuff about you within the community now becomes reputation management, where you're trying to build up your reputation, to prove to people, you know what? I'm not this scum, or I'm not this doctor that can't get people better. I do have a treatment protocol that works. And that can be disastrous in and of itself. So the last thing you want to do is just accept everybody out of desperation. Imagine you always had a flood of new patients coming to your office that you never have to worry about if that person undergoes your care or not. Imagine how amazing that would be in your practice, right? All that stress would just roll off your shoulders, right? In my case, like I said numerous times, I have my system and my formula that I'm always inundated with consults and new patients that walk into my office, okay? And they're already demanding my care. I'm telling you, I know that may sound hard to believe. This is just BS. I'm just feeding these lines. I'm not. Again, if you watch my videos on my Clinic Build Formula website, you'll see in my stats. I'm fully transparent on everything. Like I said, even with my Clinic Build course, my Effortless Clinic Build course, again, I grew this practice from scratch for you to show you how to easily grow your practice. I show you everything from where I bought my equipment, my location, my marketing that I use to build up my practice even before I opened my door, that build up so much buzz that my schedule is fully packed with consultations, again, even before I opened my door for the very first time. So building your practice is really, really easy. And that's all you have. Anyways, if you want to learn more about it, just go to my website. But what I'm trying to say is, imagine you have a flood of new patients coming to your door all the time. You never have to worry about people that undergo your care or not, because you know you're having someone else come in, and chances are they're going to undergo your care. So you're not in this desperation mode. I'm never in a desperation mode. Thank God. But again, I have a great reputation. I'm very, very honest with my patients. I'm very transparent with my patients. And again, as I say, and why my Effortless Clinic closed course, my Effortless Chiro closed course works so well for everybody is because you never have to sell. You never have to convince your consults to undergo your care. I teach you in a manner where the way you communicate to your potential new patients, they're actually selling themselves on your care. You're never selling to them. They're selling themselves on your care. And when they sell themselves on your care, they're doing all the work convincing themselves that you are their best treatment option, that you're the one that's going to get them better as opposed to anybody else around them. Because again, no one likes to be sold to, but everybody likes to sell. Everybody likes to buy. So when you know how to properly communicate where you get your consults to sell themselves on your care, your conversion becomes effortless. And that's why you get like a 90% conversion ratio. So now imagine you have a flood of new patients to your office. You never have to worry about, okay, you know what, you're not a candidate, but I'm still going to take you anyways because you know what, I'm about to go broke. You have that freedom. You never have to worry about anything. You never have to worry about reputation management, unless you do something unscrupulous, of course. But anyways, really, really important. I really hope that helps. And I want to thank you so much for joining me here on the Clinic Chiropractic Podcast. Until next time, check me out. We'll see you on the next podcast. And you want to check out my website, simply go to clinicbuildformula.com. Talk to you later. Take care, Doc.